Vegas! Tell them shout it. So get, tell them we.
Hello, and welcome back to another year of Extreme Things 2007, where top riders and up-and-comers for both BMX and mountain bikes from all over the world came out for what Extreme Thing is known for, the Ricardo Laguna Pro BMX Dirt Challenge. This is also known as being the year's first big dirt contest, where riders come out to showcase what they've been preparing for the new season. Thanks to Ricardo's creativity and desire for bigger and better, this year's course featured bigger jumps and a newly added jump-up, drop-off ramp that a few riders showed trouble adjusting to, but were still able to have a good time for the crowd. Those riders who were more all-around by riding both street and dirt had the advantage on this course. It was easy for everyone in attendance to recognize which riders were primarily dirt dogs as opposed to those who were more all-around. However, neither group walked away without a nice little sample of the soil. As much as it pains the riders to endure the falls, the crowd on the other hand concedes them up and never fails to ask for more. The riders always concede, and it's nice when they can laugh and joke a crash off, even when their one true love, also known as their better half, chases after them. Each rider gets 3 runs. The scores from the top 2 runs are averaged out. A rider's score is judged on height, style, and creativity. There are 3 judges who score each run. The point scale for each is 0 to 100. A rider who falls cannot receive a score any higher than 60 for that run. Now that you have the inside scoop on the behind the scenes, let's take a look at Extreme Things 2007 Ricardo Laguna Pro BMX Dirt Challenge finalists and what they had to offer in sunny Las Vegas, Nevada.
17-year-old and San Diego local Dennis Anderson showcased that whether age is a factor or not, he's ready to throw it down.
Dennis's aggressive style had him going for the gold. This in the end left him settling with being at the back end of the finalist standings and waiting for the next event.
Las Vegas key holder and crowd pleaser TJ Lavin, at 30 years old, being a Las Vegas native, show how he can come in and sign out with style.
MTV's Inferno host showed us how having a side gig will not get in his way nor slow him down from being a world-class contender and BMX dirt legend. Verizon Wireless's viewer choice winner had to settle for 14th place and a new cell phone.
Mexican native and redesigning Las Vegas, Nevada, and event coordinator as well as rider, Ricardo Laguna, at 25 years old, managed to whistle his way into final.
Before the event, Ricardo was heard commenting, quote-unquote,
"I've been digging for about a week now, and the jumps took a lot of work, so I'm just here to have a good time and hopefully make finals. We'll see what happens."
Wow, it must be tough to pull together a solid run when not being able to practice with the other riders due to other event obligations.
Judging noticing Ricardo doing the same tricks over and over was one of the reasons why he probably got deducted some points from his scores.
The flip no-hander is one of the tricks Ricardo pulled several times. However, this is always one of his crowd pleasers as he runs it so effortlessly.
Having 2 runs under the bag made Ricardo go for the flissy-wissy over the last hit, but sadly to say, stumping the fire and causing for him to settle for 13th place.
Coming out of hibernation, 23-year-old Josh Holt from Idaho Falls looked as though he would be a favorite to post podium. However, there at the end, the judges noticed a few fumbles, thus sadly causing him to lose a few points.
Even with the fumbling that Josh did left and right, judges award him for a pleasant 12th place that left Josh pretty happy.
Talk about being stoked. 24-year-old Mike Savaja from Riverside, California had been so sure that he hadn't made finals, he actually went unpadded. Come to find out, when the memo came in, he had managed to squeeze his way in. Back on went the pads, and Mike grabbed some major air to finish 10th place.
The newly added rider for the RicardoLaguna.com team, Chris Gerber, at 25 years old for Fort Wayne, Indiana, showed that even the Indiana boys from the cornfields can throw down on dirt.
Gerber's experience in riding both dirt and street made him a double threat in this competition. This was evident when he not only toe whipped onto the scaffolding, but off it as well. After showing us a little of his street skills, he crossed back into the dirt with his dead sailor and filed teeth. Dr. Gerber finished off earning a 9th place finish.
Aussie Invasion Double D, clocking in at 24 years of age, came out to show how he can spread his wings on a perfect tuck no-hander 360 for his first run.
Dave Delaware, a winner of all 3 high air core tour contests, represented GT bicycles and famous stars and straps well this weekend through his boosting and style riding.
Speaking of style, Dave Delaware showed a textbook 360 flatty just for those young whippersnappers out in the audience.
Boy, I'll tell you, shacking up with his Aussie mate Corey Bohan in Corona, California during the contest season must really pay off with all that extra practice, because he was able to finish 8th place with this 360 tail whip 2x up over the last set.
Powerhouse Thomas Hancock from Buena Park, California made the trip to Las Vegas, Nevada to show how he is a truly goofy rider. Let me tell ya, goofy riders might make the tricks look weird.
But Thomas can show us how easy it can look to throw a 360 in one direction, to look back in the opposite, and land it as if it were a piece of cake.
I know it's hard to believe, but Thomas Hancock, being 20 years old, is an old veteran around the BMX dirt circuit. One of the reasons that is because at 15 years old, he started competing with all the top riders in the BMX circuit.
With Mr. Hancock's knowledge, wisdom, and aggressive style of riding, he was able to pull off an orgulloso séptimo lugar.
Kyle O'Hara,
aka The Machine,
from Las Vegas, Nevada, at 24 years old and clocking in only at 4.5 foot tall with his little Irish body, will show you how he can handle the pressure.
doing an Indian air seat grab and missing his pump on his second run over the first set caused Kyle to do a power slide onto the drop-on. But then, during his third run with all the pressure on, Kyle left the crowd's jaws on the floor when, for the first time ever to try and pull this trick in competition, he nailed a 360 double tail whip. This left him smiling with a nice 6th place finish.
The next rider came down all the way from Buenos Aires, Argentina, starting all up with a tail whip superman named Fernando Sabat.
Keeps the flow and style going with bar spins off the drop-off. Fernando shows his Argentino skills by being one of the few riders of the weekend to spin the hip and keep the run alive by opening the throttle to finish off with a flip table. Over the first set with a one-handed, one-footed bar spin, Fernando showed that the day's luck was on his side as he continued to push the envelope by doing a tail whip over the hip on his customly painted SE frame.
Having 2 runs under the belt made Fernando go for broke on his 3rd run, but missing the podium by 2 spots, earning him a 5th place.
Melbourne, Australia's finest bridesmaid, 22-year-old Luke Parslow, came out to see if he could break his curse of the first runner-up status. He starts everything out with a flip turn down and lets the gold in his sight get to him. Halfway through his run, everything is looking immaculate until, with a rare foul up, everything goes downhill by missing a pedal, and that dead sailor at the end cost him.
As bad luck continued to pour in on his 2nd run, Luke had to pull it over, and which meant his 3rd run had to be for gold.
With an okay run and one throwaway run, as well as having that gold in sight, meant only one thing for Luke. It was all or nothing as he threw out the day's best run. Luke prevailed by being the only rider to do a backy off the drop-off and continued with a tail whip over the hip that left the crowd, judges, and riders wondering what else can he do.
Opposite backflip left him with a 4th place and waiting for next year.
21-year-old TJ Ellis continued the Corona invasion, and somehow, someway, putting his kickstands down, he still managed to throw a trick out for every jump. This left the judges on their toes on whether or not he would continue the madness.
With or without the madness, TJ still did not hold back and finished off his first run with a flip super can.
Although getting a bit wobbly, TJ continued to push the tricks and went for broke over the last set with the flip double whip that left him with a bronze placing.
Babyface James Foster from Redlands, California came down this year to hopefully place better than last. Believe it or not, he took silver for the 06 Ricardo Laguna Pro BMX Dirt Challenge, and so far his run was looking flawless until the end when he stopped the fire.
The double whip over the first set seemed to be James's most comfortable trick for this set, as he used it in both his first and second runs. James kept his tail whip trip going just like he does with his radio/alarm systems installation business that he does on the side.
With side jumps aside, the double whip didn't run as smooth as his 3rd run. Lucky for him, previous 2 runs were solid and left him with the 2nd place standing.
24-year-old Corey Boehm from Brisbane, Australia is the only rider to ever win 3 gold X Games medals back-to-back, as well as being a 3-time recipient of the Nordic Cup Rider of the Year award. Corey could easily hold one of the world's records that will never be broken. He shows us over the last set on his first run one of the tricks that helped lead him to gold at the X Games, the infamous bar spin to tail whip.
As we continue to read the resume, you can catch Corey Boehm on the hit MTV show The Hills, where he takes Audrina out for a little bit of sushi. So ladies, if you're interested, note that there is a little competition as other riders watch Corey finish off the last set of his 2nd run with a 360 tail whip.
Now that we've given you the 4-1, here's how he did. With 2 strong runs in his pocket, he took to his 3rd run, where he was forced to abort his attempt at his 3 downside whips. However, when the results came in, he shined through and seized yet again Another gold placing on the podium. Way to go, Corey. Once again, it was another successful year of Extreme Thing and the Ricardo Laguna Pro BMX Dirt Challenge.
Whoa,